Canon R7 spec has just come onto their website, so I thought I'd just take a look at it and run through a few things, see what my thoughts are, see what you think of this. So it's a brand new camera. They've got this 18 to 150, I think, super zoom. Looks interesting. I don't think it's got image stabilization in the actual lens, but the body's got sensor stabilization, so it's looking good. It's a good size. The hand grip looks good. Let's go through and have a look. So we've got the specs down here. So it's obviously got the new dual pixel AF2, so that's going to be really good. I've used it on the R6 and it's really good. It's, you know, unstoppable. I think everyone's agreeing that Canon are there with their autofocus, so they've always been really good at that. -5 EV low light, so focusing is really good in low light. Similar to the R6, which I found was really useful in obviously dark environments working. So yeah, I was impressed with that on the R6, and that's come over, so that's good. This is the thing that really interests me, getting 7 stops with the optical in the lens and the in-body, so combining the two. So that's really good for video, but also good if you're a bit shaky at a wedding. So anything to do with having more stabilization is a great thing, so you get more keepers, more images. So that's good to see they're working on that. Canon have always been really good at autofocus and stabilization, so that's really important. The angled screen, 7.5 centimeters, standard, pretty standard screen, 1.62 million dot. You have to see these screens, see if they're any good. The 5D Mark IV screen is absolutely perfect for me. Some of the screens are too shiny. I wasn't, you know, overly enthusiastic about the R6 one, but I expect this one to be pretty similar. This is where it does get interesting and where everybody's been looking for obviously sports wildlife. 15 frames a second, 30 frames a second burst. So that's basically a video clip, really. Brilliant, that's what everyone's been after. So 15 frames a second, you know, what more do you want, really? This is a good one here, ISO 32,000. That makes me think this is going to be very usable at 12,800 ISO. So we'll have to wait and have a look. I mean, this ISO combined with over here 32.5 megapixel sensor. I'm using their 4-frame sensor on the 5D Mark IV at the moment. I'm happy at 12,800, 25,600 with quite a lot of noise reduction, reduced sharpening is fine. So fingers crossed, you're going to have a good camera here, because when Canon say 32,000, they don't actually mean use it, I don't think. I mean, you can use whatever you like, but the bottom line is these cameras, you know, we're looking for 12,800, 25,600 with good performance. So yeah, that looks really good to see. 4K 60p if you're into your video. It'd be good to see whether in the body you can grab the stills from your 4K footage like you can with a 5D Mark IV. So that'd be really useful. So taking short video clips and then pulling frames during ceremonies for me, save any noise, save constantly doing 30 frames a second bursts. Yeah, so that could be an interesting one. It's obviously got the X processor, their newest one, so that's good. So you've got 120 full HD as well, which for your slow motion, I mean, this camera is looking really good, to be honest with you. You've got the 1.6 crop sensor, so you're going to be able to have that crop on your longer telephoto lenses. So, you know, there's some interesting stuff that can be done with this camera. The EVF, if you're watching other videos, everyone's pretty disappointed in the EVF. I haven't looked through it yet, so I can't judge it. From my other videos, I don't know if I would have posted them by now, whether you've had a look, but my main reason for not buying the R6, which is a £2,400 camera, is the EVF. I just feel like they should be giving us more for our money. I expect this body will be about 1,400, 1,500. I haven't even looked at the price yet, but yeah, we'll have to have a look. I mean, you don't know till you look through these. It might be absolutely fine. They might have done other stuff. It's not just about dots, by the way. The problem for me is dynamic range. And I think I saw they were going to do something, was on one of their videos, where it's going to be more of a natural viewfinder, less contrasty. And contrast is the biggest problem I find with these electronic viewfinders. When you go back to an optical standard 5D Mark IV, you've got full dynamic range, so it's dynamic range rather than number of dots for me, to be honest with you. So we'll have a look, and when it comes in I'll have a look at it. So it's their next chapter. So it is really, if you think APS-C, God, I remember the old APS film cameras coming in after 35mm, and they didn't stay around for long. I did actually have one and travelled the world with an APS camera. And now this smaller format, I'll be honest with you, it's the format I believe in, but only if we can reduce the size of the lenses. I mean, this is showing obviously a telephoto, but it's interesting what they're doing. This is really interests me what they're going to do with the APS. So this 18-150 is a 3.5. Oh, it is an IS STM. Ah, that's good. Well, there you go. That's what I've been looking for. So this is great news. 7 stops. You can tell I haven't been on it before, but it's just come on, so I thought I'd have a look. 7 stops. Very good. So we've got the RFS 18-150. 6.3. If we can get up to, let's think, if we can get up to, so we're at 5.6, shooting 5.6, we can get to 25,000. If we can get clean files at 25,600, this is going to be a very usable camera. Now it does interest me now. So combined 8 stops, this is looking really good. So let's just go back there. So that one little thing there, that's how I pick things. That's going to be really useful to me. See what you think. Go and have a look. Obviously it's going to be very fast. You're doing 30 frames a second, no problem at all. And the colours are really going to be good at this, I believe. The reason I say that, I've seen the 90D files, and I believe they're using the same sensor, but they've improved it. So whether that's through the processor, whatever they're doing, fine detail. Be interested to see how sharp this is. So I think it's going to be, it could be a great camera for bird photographers, sports photographers. Let's carry on going down. Keep going on about this 7 stops. I've just bought the 24-105 Mark II for my 5D Mark IV. It's given me 4 stops straight out the lens apparently. So this combination here for people doing video, and doing video where you want to pull stills, that's going to be, you know, I see that's where photography's going, to be honest with you. 4K, 8K files, 8K especially, pulling stills. You may think that's the end of photography, but actually professional photographers just need to get the image, so we don't care how we get it. We just got to get the image back to the client, so that's going to be really good. There you go. This is what they like in 18. Let's see again. RFS 18. Yeah. Didn't believe it the first time. I do now. Someone told me it wasn't an IS lens, you see. That's why I was a bit sort of. So the R10 hasn't got in-body stabilization, so I see that as a miss out, that camera, to be honest. But the R7 looks really good. So there's not anything about this camera I don't really like. I'm just going to address what's on the back of the camera, because I've heard, you know, a few videos have come out where this will be a problem for left-eyed photographers. I use my left eye through the viewfinder, so most of my face is over the right-hand side of the camera. So they put the joystick and the wheel right up by your right eye. Big mistake, but we'll see, because they've set the viewfinder very far back, so you might have room to get your thumb in. Notice on the Nikons, when you put your eye on the viewfinder, you've got nice depth, so then you can get your joystick, which they've put over here. So we'll have to, you know, until you got it in your hand, you don't know. One thing I love about the back of that is it's got very few buttons on it. Really simple. Looks like a touchscreen based system, so it's obviously going to be touchscreen, but this looks really interesting actually. I did look at a picture of it and thought, why don't you just put the wheel back down here? And why don't we just have the wheel there on all the cameras like we've always had? But we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to write that off. Let's have a look at it first. Yeah, so it's looking all right. Nice clean back. Menu button, play button, probably a trash button under the thumb. So this camera's looking pretty good. Obviously, you know, I don't get... Image quality to me ended a long time ago, to be honest with you, because all these cameras are really good image quality. But I look at features, you know, ergonomics, see how they feel. Obviously the angle viewfinder I haven't had much luck with, because to be honest, I took the camera out, used it as much as I could, the R6 that is. Hardly used the tilt viewfinder, but I can see where you're going to need it one day, but it's probably not massively important to me, to be honest. This is where you can add on your ring. You can use all your EF lenses. I've got other videos up about the R lenses I've tested so far. Take a look at them. 7200 f4, 24105 f4 I'm uploading now. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the EF lenses, to be honest. But these EFS lenses, I can see, you know, I hope they don't just go along the EFS, as in it's the amateur range, or, you know, I mean that in the best possible way, but I hope they don't. I hope they try and make some professional EFS lenses, an L series EFS lens series. I mean, you know, Fujifilm are doing the X-T4 with all the great lenses. Let's not, you know, just because it's a crop sensor, we don't have to think about it as a lower range sensor, if you like. It's just another tool. And making the body smaller, like the R10, which should have had stabilization in the body. I'll do another video about the R10, I think. But fingers crossed, I hope Canon listens, and, you know, they could really push this EFS now, but bring it up to a level where you've got lenses that are affordable, and then you've got more professional lenses in there as well. But we'll see. It's going to be difficult for them to do, I think. I've seen this process happen before, when we had the Canon EOS and FD movement over to the EOS system, and then I saw EFS come in. So I've seen, you know, it's a bit like repeating history, but I really hope they do something with it, because we've got to make the smaller bodies, lighter lenses. This is what we're after.